Great to see you, man. And it's so funny because we were talking just before the interview. I anytime I do an interview with you, I always try to wear something when it comes to the Raptors because all I can think about is, of course, the championship and, of
That's
course,
right.
the theme song you were able to record
Yes, yes.
for that, precious time, man. Before we get into what we're going to talk about, Canada's Got Talent, man. When you think about this, man, I mean, it wasn't too long ago.
Listen, I saw Masai the other day. We were at a Black History Month event together at Canada Goose. And what I love is just his confidence that he's going to build back up that team to a championship caliber again. You know what I mean? So shout out to Masai, shout out to the Raptors. And ironically, that's the last time outside of the anthem, that's the last time that I dropped any new music was when we won the championship. I had put out Run. So the funny thing is that we actually have new music coming in May, coming on my birthday. It's ready now. It's ready now, but we have new music coming in May, a song called Kiss Me When I, and it features Papa J. He played the young Michael B. Jordan in Creed 3. He's actually on the song with me. So new music coming
Wow.
in just over a month.
Wait, how do you make time to make music when you know, as we're going to talk about, Canada's Got Talent, new season coming up, being a judge? How do you have time to make music and still be a judge in one of the most popular shows in Canada?
That's right. You got to make the time. You know what I mean? This past weekend, um, I was tired because I went to New York for like less than 24 hours. I was probably there for like 16 hours. I flew in Thursday night, because I'm working, obviously, shout out to Skip Marley and the Marley family. So I'm working with Skip Marley for Def Jam. And, he had a performance with Casey Musgraves on the Today Show. And that was like 6 a.m. in the morning. So, here I am flying to New York, got to get up at 5 a.m. You go do, a nationally broadcast show across the states. And literally right after the show was done, bang, I'm back at the airport. But it's like, bro, you gotta prioritize. You gotta make the time. So Saturday, I was busted. I was tired. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? I was like, listen, I know my Saturday mornings, I love to post by like 11 a.m. I'm like, bro, you got an hour. Go write that verse, go record it, go film yourself, edit it. And it was out by 11 a.m. So the thing is, I tell people, make time, not excuses. You know what I mean? That's my thing. And music is always at the forefront of everything that I'm doing. So I got to make sure to dedicate to myself. You know what I mean? Not just, not just Rogers and CityTV and Canada's Got Talent, but I got to make sure that I save time for all of it. Because without the music, I wouldn't be here.
Absolutely. And without you as a judge, there wouldn't be people being able to have their dreams come true. How does it feel being part of something like this, where there are so many talented people who may not ever get a chance to present their talent, but this is the stage that they get a chance to do that, and you're one of the people that helps guide them through their journey.
Honestly, I think it's incredible. It's a lot of fun. This $1 million season, and what I'm saying, listen, shout outs to Rogers for making that $1 million happen. Because the crazy thing is, even after taxes, it is the biggest prize money in the world. You know what I mean, for these type of shows. So it's not a little thing. Like initially we were like, yo, it's a lot of pressure, but if you look at season 3, maybe compared to season one, we gelled right away. You know what I'm saying? Surprisingly for everybody, because honestly, I thought we were going to have days of training and whatever. They kind of just threw us into the fire and turned on the cameras. You know what I mean? And it was just a cohesive energy off the top. And it's like, we're going into season 3 now. And I think we play off each other very well. The energy is always really dope. And I think that makes the journey incredible. One thing that I think that I have learned is that with this $1 million season, people think it's going to be all about the prize money at the very end. But the journey is actually like where so much of the incredible jewels happen. That's where the talent happens. That's where, those nail biting moments happen. This year, there was a lot of emotions that were evoked. I think what happens is when you have that $1 million season, You have people that just kind of leave it all on the stage because they're like, listen, I'm just gonna go all the way for it. Not to say that they didn't in seasons past, but I mean this season out of everything, they're like, yo, $1 million, they're all in. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me. And on top of that, what's dope is courtesy of CIBC, they also have an opportunity to win 25 grand for the golden buzzer moments. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of opportunities to win big this season.
Yeah, the way this economy is, everybody can use a dollar here and a dollar there, so it works out well. As a judge, what do you look for?
You know, it might sound ironic saying this, but I don't have any like I don't go into it looking for anything per se. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? I kind of just leave everything open, if I'm being honest. You know what I mean? Because you never know what you're gonna get on the stage. Some people think that like there's some kind of preliminary screening to where we get to see, like, literally once it's on that stage, we're seeing these people hearing their stories for the first time. So it's like, as a judge, that's why we tend to not go into, you know, into the season looking for anything per se, because you never know what you're going to get. And I think that's half the fun of the show, is at the same time that the audience is seeing this incredible talent, we're seeing and hearing about it for the first time as well. You know what I mean? So it's like, if you go in there particularly looking for something, I think that's taking away some of the fun and some of the excitement. You know what I mean? So I just go in there looking for something that is engaging, something that I've never seen before. And even if it is something that I, you know, that myself or the judges have seen before, something that is maybe given to us in a way or a style that we've never seen before. And I think that's what makes it awesome. That's why you're able to have multiple seasons.
You know, and I'm glad you said that, because this is something important for folks who are going to try out this season, season 3, because we've seen lots of magicians, we've
Yep.
seen lots of singers, we've
Yep.
seen lots of dancers. So
Mm-hmm.
really, the quest is, yes, I'm on this grand stage, but
Mm-hmm.
what can I do that is different from those hundreds of dancers, hundreds of singers, and hundreds of musicians?
Thousands actually, which is incredible. Um, I think, you know, very similar to like when I hit the stage or when I put out music, there's a parallel there. Um, at a time when they were literally like uploading millions of songs, millions and millions every year, it's like, how does your music stand out? How does your show stand out amongst all of the clutter and noise? It's very similar when it comes to TV. It's just like, yeah, sure, there's going to be an ensemble dance cast. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, how are you going to stick out from the other, you know, 20-piece ensemble? And I think that's what makes the show so intriguing. You know what I mean? Um, you know, you're gonna see a lot of incredible, unexpected moments happen this year. And I think what I love is that everybody, not just the judges, but even the people behind the scenes, the producers, the directors, everybody, there is such a rhythm that we hit. You know what I mean? Everything is like, the first couple of seasons have been awesome. You know what I mean? The numbers
Mhm.
have been amazing. We've
Yeah.
been, you know, number one, you know what I mean, um amongst our genre, which is, you know, which is absolutely incredible. You know, and shout out to Rogers. We've been the number one show across the, you know, um, across all of Rogers, which is awesome. Um, but this third season, this $1 million season, I you know, I'll tell you this much. I am really, really impressed by the way that everybody has worked together. And I think what's incredible is when you work with a team, because, you know, the incredible thing is not just about any particular judge or the host or whatever, it's how we all work together. And I think what's awesome is it's like we've only gotten better. You know what I mean? The jokes have hit harder from the comedians. The vocalists, like we have, when I tell you, some top tier world class singers that are on this show. Of course, the dancers, of course, the contortionists and the acrobats and all of that. But what I love is there's a lot of a kind of blending in some, you know, in some of these instances, like things where you might, I don't want to give some of the stuff away, but, you know, in times where you're like, oh, this whatever, this comedian is incredible, but then all of a sudden they start to blend and incorporate magic into what they do, or vice versa, or whatever. Or, you know, you have those people that are like 80 years old, and, you know, you kind of laugh, you're like, oh, this is cute. But then by the time it's done, you're like, yo, like that is something that is super dope that I did not expect. And I think that's what Canada's Got Talent is all about. I know it sounds cliche, but you gotta, you know, put in italics, underline, bold, the talent part, is that the talent really does come in any age. And we literally have, you know, everything from like one of the youngest performers that you'll ever see on TV all the way up to one of the oldest performers that you'll see. And that's also what's incredible, is it's a transgenerational show, so that kids that are 4-year-old, you know, 4 years old, they can enjoy it, as well as people that are 84 years old. And it's like going out into the world. Those are the type of people that I see at the airports, at the supermarket, at sporting events, you know, concerts. Those are the type of people that come up to me. You know what I mean? It's anybody from aunts and grandmothers all the way to like, you know, little kids that are super fans of the show as well.
Two more questions, or actually no, three more questions. I know we're gonna have to wrap this up very soon. Number one, are you prepared for the fashion look? Because brother, you know you always looking good at every show, so you got something different. So is the fashion ready? And two, what advice can you give for our next contestants and future winner?
Excuse me. Fashion is always ready. I have, you know what I mean? Like I have fun with it all the time. You know what I'm saying? And here's the thing that people don't understand. The fun about fashion is it's not always gonna work. But you know, part of that is that's the fun, you know what I mean? In like really trying different things. So for me, like, you know, my outfits this year, it's one of those ones where, you know, I always push it to the limit, because I think, just similar to music again, that's where the fun lies. You know what I mean? Like it's easy to just play it safe. If I wanted to just wear all black, you know what I mean? Wear a suit, you know what I mean? Or like a denim suit or whatever. But for me, I'm always like, yo, how can we flip it? How can we be more colorful, more adventurous? You know what I mean? Or be too, as the Jamaicans say, too matchy matchy. So, I mean, you know, I'm always out there just, you know, trying a thing. And that's what I love about incorporating the fashion into what it is that we do. And sorry, the second question again?
What advice can you give
Oh,
this season's contestants and the future winner?
you know, the advice is, I think, I hate it because it does sound scripted, but I'll tell you it's the honest truth. The more that you can bring yourself to the stage, the more that you can bring your personal touch, whatever your energy is to it, that's what we want to see. We don't want to see your, you know, your version of like how well you can mock somebody if you're going up there to sing, or if you saw something that was successful before, saying, okay, well, that was successful before in the last seasons, let me try and do my version of that. No, I think what it is no matter what it is that you're doing, you got to show us your unique flair. You know what I mean? Because, you know, there's a billion rappers at this point in time, but there's only one Kardinal that can express himself the way that I do. And I think that's how we look at the talent is, you know, of course, how he's got the eyes, you know, he's always trying to promote the comedians, because it is a very, you know, tough discipline. It's a tough genre. So he's always going to big them up. But the thing that he loves the most when he sees the comedians are those people that have just that little flair, that little spin on something that we've never seen before. That's what Howie loves, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to comedians. When it comes to, you know, dancing, you know, Lily used to be a dancer, so she, you know what I mean, keeps her eyes sharp on the choreography. And, you know, of course with Trish, she's looking at people that you know, use their physical abilities and things of that nature. So we all have our quote unquote specialties, but I think what we all see, and you know, the DNA in all of the winners, is that they brought something that we have never seen before, or something that we have never seen performed in the way that they do. And I think that is really what's going to separate all the contestants and the big winner, you know what I mean, for the big $1 million prize, you know what I mean, that Rogers provided. And also for the golden buzzer, you know what I mean, big up to CIBC too. So like I said, with those two opportunities to win big, it's really how much of you you're willing to put on that stage. And people don't realize sometimes how vulnerable those people are. And there was some really transparent moments where people just talk about vulnerability. They just put it all out there. And I think I think it affected people. All of us judges at one point or the other, we really had a strong connection with those performers. And I think that's what what people love about the season and what people come back for, you know what I'm saying, show after show and season after season, is those people that really cut through. And you know what I mean, you feel that connection. And I think that's what makes the show amazing.
Last question. 2 years ago, Julie Black was celebrated for her music and being honored in so many incredible ways.
Mm,
Last year, you were being honored. In fact, we always talk about this. I was able to actually present you an award at Canadian Music Week, which
that's
was
right.
very, very important for me.
Yeah, the
This
social
year,
impact. That's right.
yeah, this year is Maestro. He's
Mm,
getting his flowers
Hall
finally
of Fame.
in the Hall of Fame at the
Mhm.
Juno Awards. I think a lot of people consider the three of you the pillars when it comes to not just Black Canadian music, but music in general.
Mm.
How does it feel to watch just transition from where you all started in the beginning to now Maestro, as I said, getting his flowers, being inducted into the Hall of Fame?
Well, I'll tell you a quick story. We all had a show together. So myself, um, Maestro might have been, and I think there was somebody else, but I think it was a big show last summer in excuse me, I believe it was Kingston. And we all went to get some food before the show. Or at least me and my team did. We were at the keg. And I get a call from Maestro, and he's like, yo, coming over there, can we talk? And I'm like, uh sure. I'm like, we're eating right now, like, can we do this after? And he was like, no, I need to talk to you right now. And I was like, all right, cool, my steak didn't come, so whatever. Comes over right when they come with my steak. It's sizzling hot. I have my fork and my steak knife in my hand, about to cut in. He's like, yo, can I talk to you? And I was just like, what, stick? He's like, all right. I go and I talk to him. And I'm like, bro, what is it that couldn't wait? And it was the day that they told him that he was going to receive his Hall of Fame honors. And at the same time, they were like, hey, who would you like to choose to kind of give your induction speech? And he chose me. And he was like, yo, there's nobody else that I think um, I would want to be able to, say some words before I get my honor. So, since I was, I don't know, 13 or 14 when I first met him, up until now, Maestro for me has been somebody that I've always looked up to, respected. And, he is almost like a full 10 years older than me. And what's incredible is just seeing how he's been able to maintain, diversify his career, and not only do music, but he was doing what's the show, Mr. D. And now
Yeah.
he's got his own show with Maestro Chef West that I actually did the first episode of, which was incredible. We went out there to New Brunswick and had a ball. So I think it's really awesome, just the way that the country and the infrastructure and things are evolving, because it's allowing for a lot of us to to come up in the game, but not just be relegated or kept into a box to where they're just like, yo, you're just a rapper. Now it's cool. I got to last year, I also got to, for the 50th anniversary of hip hop, I got to actually not just host at the Junos, host a segment, but I was also, one of the producers of the segment at the Junos. So you get to work behind the scenes as a writer, a producer. You get to be in front of the camera. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, doing Canada's Got Talent. Shout out to Rogers. And it's like, this is what I love um, about where we're at, kind of as a community, is slowly but surely you're seeing the R&B singers, the rappers, the dancehall artists, all these different people that are, yes, coming with incredible world-class music and representing our country around the globe, but you're seeing them be able to be successful in all these other areas. And that's what I really love about where Canada's headed and our trajectory in terms of just the entertainment business in general. It's not just about the music anymore. It's about the energy, the personality, what it is that we brought to music. We're now bringing it to TV, and that's why I love being a part of the CGT family alongside Trish, Lily, Howie, and Lindsay. It's an awesome family. It is something that I look forward to doing. And honestly, we have so much fun doing it. It is a lot of hard work, don't get it twisted, but it doesn't feel like work. You know what I mean? When you're having a lot of fun. And what I love is that the fans of this show, they love us, of course, for what we do within our, separate disciplines, but they love how it somehow in this weird, quirky way kind of meshes together, and you get this just cohesive, fun energy. And I think that's why people are really going to love this $1 Million season this year.
Congratulations on another season. Cannot wait to watch it, man. Always proud of you and always big love.
Thank you, boss. It's always the same.